KNES 310, summer June 2021 edition. My name is Brian Campbell. I'm going to be your instructor for this class, and I'm going to go over a couple things for this short video, and then hopefully we'll have no issues, no problems, and everybody will make the grade they need to make. This is going to be a content-driven class. This class is going to be based off of information. No little arts and crafts macaroni pictures for points. This is know it and move on, okay? So the intrinsic motivation for you guys to watch the lectures, take notes in the form of questions, and come to me with those questions so that I could clarify that content for you is very important. It's all about communication. And the easiest way to clarify communication is well before, the night before, or the morning of your test, okay? So the first thing I'm going to say is I have 24-hour office hours, virtual office hours, meaning that if you're available and I'm available, text me and let's talk about your question. We can FaceTime, we can Zoom, whatever you guys need. But if you have a question about something, why wait until the next day? If you have a question or need clarification, I want to handle it now so that you can be squared away, so that you can move on with the content and with the material, okay? So that's the first thing. The second thing is we're going to have two major tests. We're going to have a midterm and a final. The midterm is going to be at the end of the second week. The final is going to be at the end of the fourth week. Remember, this is a 4-week pressure cooker class. At the end of week 1 and 3, I'm going to have quizzes that are meant to make sure you're on track. They won't be worth as much, but they're going to be more time. So you'll have 4 tests. 2 of them are going to be Big Daddy midterm final. 2 of them will be more minor tests. Everything will be open book. That is a blessing and a curse. Open book is the fact that I can't police whether you have your book open at home or not. But the problem is that because it's open book, sometimes students don't put as much emphasis on learning the material. They'll say, oh, well, I have access to everything I know. And this class is different than some other classes. This is about application. I know my ABCs, but just because I know my ABCs doesn't necessarily mean I can put them together in words and sentences and paragraphs and do it. Basically, what I'm trying to say is just because I know my ABCs doesn't make me a poet, and it doesn't make me an author. So it's very similar. I'm going to give you the ABCs of anatomy, functional anatomy, but you can't just say, well, I have all the letters here available to me and I'll easily be able to put them together to make poetry. You gotta know it, you gotta practice it, especially dealing with the illusions of motion. Okay? Practice, practice, practice. Another thing too is, no offense, but I don't care if you are a personal trainer. That's awesome. I have nothing against it. But we got to keep in mind that some of these certified personal training things aren't allied health professionally regulated. What I mean by that is anybody can certify anybody in these things, and so their verbiage may be fast and loose. They may not come with Sir Isaac Newton level understanding of verbiage and motion, okay? So again, I don't mean that as an insult. I'm just saying that do not come with the mindset that I already know this stuff. I've been a personal trainer for years. You know, you may know it. That's awesome. But don't assume that you do. And don't come in with that mindset, or that'll get you into trouble. Okay, so what I'd like for you guys to do is confirm in the, or you could confirm a couple ways that you listen to this little short video. You could confirm in the comments if you have a YouTube account, or you can email me or text me. I'm going to post the syllabus now. I'm going to have it available, and I'm also going to post the first week's lectures this weekend. So you'll be able to jumpstart. You'll be able to get a hold of the information. I don't want to post lectures day by day because I want you to be able to say, hey, I have time right now on Monday. I have time right now on Sunday. I have time right now on Saturday. Let me watch them. Let me get a jump start. I want you guys to be able to do that. So the essence of my class is to take basic stuff that you should already know. You should already know major bones in the body. You should already know joints of the body, and then show you, you know, kind of how those things move, not just basic motion. This isn't just about flexion extension. It's about verbiage such as an anatomical position. You can have flexion from anatomical. You can have extension to anatomical. You could have extension from anatomical. You could have extension to anatomical. And then a lot of it is illusions. It looks like it's moving, and it is. Well, that's pretty easy. Left transverse cervical rotation, right transverse cervical rotation. Another easy one is it looks like it's not moving, and it's not. The harder ones are, or the more difficult illusions, is it looks like it's moving, but it's not. What I mean by that is if you go off of fixed points or references and say, well, when my eyes go that way, it's this motion. Well, my eyes can go that way by having cervical motion, but my eyes can go that way by not having cervical motion. So if you go by these markers, when my nose does this or when my eyes do that, you're going to have a bad time. Because although sometimes it does, and it doesn't always mean that. So it looks like it's moving, but it's not. This would be an example of that. Right? What about it? It looks like it's not moving, but it is. That would be something like this. Where, once again, well, when my nose does this, when my eyes do that, well, here it looks like nothing moved because I'm still looking at it. I'm still looking at you. But I'm going to teach you to use common sense and say there had to be motion, because if I had a fused neck or a halo, something that prevented neck motion, like I couldn't twist my neck if I wanted to, when I would move my whole body, it would go along for the ride. I had to twist my neck to the left. We call that left transverse cervical rotation, in order to keep my eyes looking at you. I had to have movement to keep something in a certain position. We see this a lot with shoulders, where if I wanted to keep my hand working on whatever I'm working on, my body may try to take my hand out of position, but I actually have to move my shoulder to keep my hand working at whatever I'm working at. So the illusion of I didn't have shoulder motion, when in the reality I did. It's going to be those kind of things. And if you listen and you pay attention and you ask questions when you have questions, and when you come in with an open mind, I'm going to teach you a lot of cool stuff that's going to be applicable. Okay, I want to close by reading a random message I got from a student who just graduated and started a physical therapy school or occupational therapy school. And this is the message. Dr. Campbell, so my first day of anatomy lab was today, and you may want to share this with your students. I know you always told us to pay attention and to master material for grad school, but from someone who is in it now, tell them this is real life. My classmates have no idea, even struggling with planes and axes questions. We're going to start off with planes and axes. I'm having to show them everything you demonstrated in class, and it's nice to be the one who knows what's going on. Tell them you aren't bluffing. It's so serious because everything we learn for the rest of this term and program builds on the basic understanding of biomechanics and anatomical kinesiology. If they want to stand out as grad students, now is the time to pay attention and make make sure they know the deal. So it is true, you know, this is unlike other classes that you've had in that you're not going to have to memorize a bunch of stuff and then never know it again. Whether you are going to be a personal trainer, athletic trainer, DO, MD, PT, OT, PA, yeah, prosthetics and orthotics, whatever you're going to do, ATC, we all have something in common in kinesiology, and that's human movement. And so I'm going to teach you on a very applicable level on what's really going on inside the skin and how to spot illusions and how to not get tricked by common terms like when this is this and when that is that. Not every time. Okay? So that's what I'm going to teach you. I'm going to teach you how to think like a biomechanist. That's what I am. And I'm going to teach you how to analyze human movement on a very, I think, simple level, but very applicable level. And my intent is the stuff that you learn in this class you're going to have for the rest of your life. Okay? All right, once again, reminder, confirm with me via text, comment, or email that you watched this video. And let's have a good semester. Later.